Disney to choose the villain's color scheme for its opening logo. Also Disney.
The grid.
The narration. Again.
ENCOM CEO and video game icon Kevin Flynn has disappeared.
Previously on Tron, Matrix Position.
Even Jess Kim take the reins of the massive tech company after Sam Flynn resigns for personal reasons.
AKA, we couldn't force Garrett Hedlund down audiences' throats, so we're going to try our luck with the past lives of Greta Lee and hope you look past the past mistakes of Jared Leto. Tron movie thinks there's nothing more visually exciting than watching characters type on desktop keyboards, cliche. Also, it's hard to be impressed by Dillinger's admittedly speedy typing skills when it appears that at least the 5, Y, and U were completely superfluous to the coding script that appears on screen. This training appears to be working, but only if you're being attacked by enemies using frisbees. Thankfully, there's no way Ares will ever be faced with some kind of clever projectile that is explosively propelled from guns. I'm talking about guns. Also, Julian had better hope that Ares doesn't download the Matrix. I imagine he'll have immediate questions about being put through this onslaught instead of simply I know kung fuing this shit. That was impressive, but imagine how much more ass he'd kick if he was an entirely digital computer program that wasn't required to catch his breath. Tron Ares, everything you loved about the Tron franchise, but with added angles, because circles are for squares.
And who am I?
That feels like a weird thing to not program into your sentient WMD. If your secret hideaway lab isn't deep in some kind of snowy tundra, are you even secret hideaway labbing properly? Expecting a simple plastic tarp to protect computer equipment in these extreme cold conditions. Pressing spacebar to start a program is deeply unsettling and proves that Mac users are clearly invaders from another dimension.
So, you made it. I had a feeling that you would.
It is physically impossible to create a video from beyond the grave that doesn't open with a smug statement about the inevitability of said video being watched by the intended recipient. That's just Hollywood math, plain and simple.
And Evie, remember, I'm still here.
She is not. She is dead. I initially read this as long ding dick because I am, according to all available evidence, 12.
So much talk of AI in big tech today.
Says the person in big tech currently talking about AI. Sure, their glasses probably help, but the idea that there is no protective wall or shielding of any kind between these investors and these high-intensity lasers is f***ing insane.
This is the most sophisticated security program ever written.
Teddy Ruxpin has entered the grid.
You want to shake his hand? Go ahead. It doesn't bite.
No one here says, I'm not worried about it biting me with its hand. I'm worried about it crushing my hand as a result of its super strength and apathy toward human life. Wait, can it bite me with its hand?
He is fully proprietary and 100% expendable.
The one sentence pitch that keeps Jared Leto in Hollywood somehow makes it into the movie.
Ares is the ultimate soldier. He needs no food, no water, sheds no blood.
But he absolutely needs oxygen, we must remember that. Why does the most advanced AI program ever created need a visual HUD for this information? I know why we need it, but surely it would just have all this information in its mind.
What makes you think you can contain it?
I can assure you, General, the most advanced fail-safe mechanisms and restriction protocols are in place.
Mechanisms and protocols that will barely feature in the movie and, when they do, prove totally ineffective as Ares immediately becomes uncontainable.
Predicted precipitation 2.6 inches.
2.6 inches of predicted precipitation, you say? College girlfriend joke writing itself, you say? All the people Ares has analyzed are working on something called Project Viniferous. Viniferous naturally referring to the growing of grapes for wines. I do not know why that is relevant, and since the movie never mentions it again, I'm forced to conclude it doesn't either.
Elizabeth Dillinger, eldest daughter of founder Edward Dillinger, deceased.
Edward Dillinger was the CEO of ENCOM and was disgraced for plagiarizing Flynn's games. So how did he go from criminal charges to establishing his own company in the same damn industry doing the same damn thing? Also, if Dillinger is capable enough to write his own code and create his own ENCOM and his own grid, why again did he need to steal the credit for Flynn's shitty video games? I understand why the holograms can't leave the holodeck for longer than 29 minutes. What I don't understand is why it's been programmed to be so painful. If they made it feel like a bubble bath, perhaps Ares wouldn't start chasing permanence.
Deceiving your investors, Julian, is hardly a business model.
Citation needed.
Whoever controls the permanence code controls the future.
Future of what, exactly? Sure, there's money to be made, and maybe the first person to the table could make more than most. But to act like in a world with people capable of the levels of hacking we will see throughout this movie, that there won't be thousands, if not millions, with access to the permanence code once it's unleashed is just idiotic hubris.
What if I said I'd found a way?
I'd say, then why the f haven't you done it already? Oh, or I'd apparently touch your face and walk away without any follow-up questions.
I think this is my 95th breakfast burrito.
And I think it's very unfortunate they are nowhere close to the medical supervision they would need to cure Seth's breakfast burrito-infused gut, which I'm sure at this point is incurable. This beanie not doing its one f***ing job.
It's all on the wrist, baby.
He says while using his finger to start the program. Thank goodness these lasers are blue and the other lasers are red. It's always nice to know which side of the force I'm supposed to be on. Also, let's spell this out. The permanence code is important to the good guys because they can use it to make endless amounts of food and other good shit. So why are we making the entire orange tree instead of just the f***ing oranges? You don't need the tree if you can just make all the oranges. Shit, you don't even need the oranges. Just make the f***ing OJ or bacon.
If by some miracle you struck down on the battlefield, I will simply make you another.
AI integrated super being with the ability to do just about anything he wants sits around working on his Evan Peters impersonation.
It was raining.
The condensed moisture of the atmosphere falling visibly in separate drops.
Looks like Athena went to the Lieutenant Commander Data T-800 and every other AI ever school of overly describing everyday things.
I could almost feel it.
Feel? I don't understand.
If Blade Runner and Tron have taught us one thing about AI, and it may very well be one thing, it's that we need to program them to understand how f***ing rain feels. Also, how's the concept of feeling not something you program into these AI? You don't have to give them actual emotions, but you could at least tell them what the word feel means.
CEO of a Fortune 500 company and your phone's down on our biggest night.
But it's been 3 months since Eve has been away, so there has been zero contact for the whole 3 months, and AJ is just getting concerned now?
What are you doing?
Oh, just trying to change the world, Mother.
What's going on?
Why would she be suspicious right now? It just looks like he's working in his office.
You're hacking ENCOM?
Oh, it's because she was able to tell he was hacking into their competitor by reading this code and understanding what it does, upside down, from across the room.
I don't like it. It's too risky, Julian. Oops.
Kids.
Programs, our directive is clear. Penetrate the server core and extract EVCAM's user file.
Our directive is clear, but let's verbally spell it out again in case anyone is enjoying this heist in laser IMAX and missed the brief.
I'm a genius. Who knew you raised a genius, Mother?
Premature celebration. Just in case you confuse this movie with something utterly disconnected from the 1982 movie Tron.
Congratulations. Now get out of there while you still can.
Why do they need to get out? We saw that Dillinger has the file downloaded, so can't he just dissolve the programs? Why can't he just de-res and re-res them like he has before and will again? To that point, these different color codes feel like pretty distinct signatures, so I'm not exactly sure how that doesn't translate into the film's real world and make it obvious enough that Julian is responsible for the hack into ENCOM systems, to where AJ and Eve would have clear legal action to take.
You're gonna make it, Caius.
Several somebodies out there will be very happy with this sudden Cal Kestis unmasking, but all I'm remembering is the bullshit Joker nonsense they pulled in Gotham.
Sometimes you have to sacrifice your knight to expose their queen.
Except there's no real sacrifice here, since you can choose to respawn your knight and any of your other pieces at your last save point. Can we stop pretending chess metaphors are applicable in every situation that requires a modicum of tactical thinking?
Eve Kim's file acquired.
Would have been cool to actually see how Ares obtained the file outside of running in and out of a room and just saying he got it, but here we are.
New mission, Master Control. Locate Eve Kim.
Why isn't this just the mission? Why are you micromanaging the AI instead of giving it the end goal and letting it present the fastest way to achieve it?
Did you tell him the shot clock expires at 29 minutes?
Don't make me call the journal and tell him you're making promises you can't keep.
If this is so widely known by the people that are searching for the permanence code, then why aren't any board members aware of it? Or what is keeping AJ from already reporting this to the media?
Yeah. 4 hours and counting, 0 degradation, no instability.
Okay, but what happens if it collapses after 12 hours? Or a week? You see, I have this weird preference where I want to know something won't eventually dissolve into generic pixelated pieces before I put it inside me.
Eve, you've done a great thing.
Tess did a great thing.
No, Flynn did a great thing. Tess found it, and you found it again. I refuse to believe that a Minority Report style interface is the most efficient way for this highly advanced AI to analyze all the information available on Eve in its attempt to extrapolate where she might be. Hell, even if this is just a personal project, this should all have happened in his head in approximately 0 seconds.
You have 29 minutes to bring me Eve Kim.
Sure is lucky that Eve's final destination happens to be within 29 minutes of Dr. Evil's wet dream lab of lasering. Also, even if Eve is near enough for the ticking clock not to be a worry, you still wasted a full 30 seconds making them walk over to and mounting their light cycles, when we know they can be materialized already on them. I was going to send the fact that Dillinger should have sent Ares and Athena out on some kind of flying machine instead of bikes, but then I figured they probably want to lie low and not draw attention to themselves. As I watch this cop car being split in two by a light beam, I no longer find that to be a plausible defense. Enterprise sponsoring a movie that is all about vehicular annihilation. Eve is shown to be super smart and calculating through this whole chase sequence, but chooses now to trap herself in a building with only one exit, instead of continuing to make her way across town to the safety of her office. I wonder how confident Eve was that it was an expendable program chasing her. Clearly it was risk going to prison for killing a person with a motorcycle levels of confidence. Just gonna pull this flash drive out of my jacket in case you forgot in the last couple minutes this was the thing I'm trying to get to ENCOM. I remember well the days of button mashing my way to a Street Fighter victory. Little did I know the same technique would be applicable to a light cycle that should be coded directly to the AI writing it. Here's a thought while I'm gripped by this super engaging and easy to follow chase. Why did the AI need a human body at all? Why can't they just be the light cycle? Eve figures out how to shoot the deadly laser grid from the light cycle and still chooses to do that after seeing the destruction it caused with the police cars earlier. Reasonable chance that the person in that car is dead, or the best case scenario is that person is seriously injured. We're supposed to be rooting for Eve, right? I hear they were going to have Eve drive directly into the back lot of a pillow factory, but the idea was thrown out as being far too silly and convenient. Shredded paper factory it is!
What have you done?
Julian has shown perfectly well what he's capable of for the last 47 minutes and change, and yet his mother is still shocked that he's gotten even more desperate and drastic. Can't figure out if we're supposed to sympathize with her or think she's the world's biggest idiot of a mother. I don't really like either option. Also, the light cycle chase has made headlines, and yet none of these headlines read, "Holy shit, the light cycles from that 80s arcade game are f***ing real." Ares, how's the beeping? Ares, how's the beeping? Tronny.
The code is inside of you. Whether you remember it or not, you've seen it, and that is enough.
I do not believe that is how memory works. And if it is, my brain every time I lose my keys. Okay, movie, I see your callback to the OG Tron movie with this typey desk, but what if Julian isn't sitting here at all times? This was an inefficient way to communicate in 1982, let alone 2025. Also, let me get this straight. Ares talks to the big head, his speech is then translated to text, which Julian reads, then Julian types a reply, which is converted to audio for the talking head to relay. Why? How do you invent AI but forget to invent Zoom meetings?
The creature also said, "I am fearless, and therefore powerful."
I would have removed a billion lines of SYN code if the head suddenly reappeared, as it absolutely should, since everything on the grid should be being monitored, and said, "What's that now? That sounded vaguely seditious. We cool?"
Master Control is exhibiting signs of malfunction.
Extract the code and delete them both.
Why isn't that something you can do as the person who created the MCP?
I miscalculated.
Except you didn't. Athena and her thugs arrive exactly 55 seconds after you said 60 seconds, which is a beautiful piece of continuity that you are somehow completely ignorant of. What were you going to do with that extra 5 seconds? Because it shouldn't have been walk to the door and meet them in the hallway.
Delete him!
But you know, like, slowly and Ares is a triangle disc to glass floors. Why does the grid need a pool or moat or whatever the f this convenient body of water is? The punks that made the Tron Legacy soundtrack set a high bar, and I have to say whoever is behind the sequel absolutely 9-inch nailed it.
Where are they?
Does it really matter where they are, given that you know where they're going? Just send everyone to the transfer portal and block the way out.
Malfunctioning offline.
It seems like Athena decided to just send 3 or 4 of whatever these probe things are, instead of sending everyone! You'd think this might be something that Dillinger could just stop. I don't know how the movie can be comfortable with him creating a program like Ares, but losing all sense of computing intelligence once he gained independence.
Transfer complete.
Move it!
Julian, buddy, if 2 of your security guards could handle Ares, you would have presented them to your board. Also, if this is a transfer portal to the real world, why didn't it transfer them on top of the water jet ski thing that they traveled through on?
Do you understand your directive, Master Control?
So, can anyone be MCP? I thought Ares was a big deal and had some kind of special programming, but now it feels more like an Employee of the Month situation.
The Honda Civic 2.0 4-cylinder with 138 horsepower. Classic.
Car guys.
I just can't get enough.
What?
Bish mode. Number 8 on the UK singles chart, 1982.
This movie is cool enough to dive into the super niche depths of past Depeche Mode hits, but not cool enough to create anything in the actual storyline that comes close to being as cool as that song. And it's honestly not that cool of a song.
I was directed to kill you, Eve, Hacking seems pretty tame by comparison.
But those two things aren't exactly mutually exclusive. She can be thankful Ares didn't kill her and still not appreciate that he read every goddamn text she's willed into existence.
Being human is hard.
Is about as deep as this movie is willing to get, which I guess shouldn't be too surprising since it stars one of the actors from My So-Called Life, which was MTV-laden fluff that Gen X was led to believe was borderline inspiring. God damn, we were stupid. At least we got Claire Danes out of the deal.
Talk about first gen.
Tennis for two deniers.
So what should I expect?
If I were to guess, think 80s?
Look, I lived through the 80s and it didn't suck. But after the last 25 years or so, I've been over 80s-fied to the extent that it feels like we're just getting a copy of a copy of a copy of nostalgia-based gobbledygook. The printer ink wore off at least 15 years ago. And while the Minecraft movie and Gabby's Dollhouse aren't Citizen Kane or even Danity Kane, at least there's something the younger mindset can relate to. We've had enough Ghostbusters and Transformers to last us the next 70 years. No more f***ing 80s, okay? It's overplayed. It's whatever the opposite of rad is. If you told me tomorrow that they were making a movie about Sunny D or Pogo Balls, I wouldn't even bat an eye, and that frightens me. There are other f***ing decades, people. Why would the digitizing laser continue Ares' forward momentum and even provide him with a digital wall to crash through? It's almost like this grid was watching the movie and was eager to do its part to continue the drama. I'd send Eve for attending the Prometheus school of crawling away from AI things if the AI thing hadn't also attended the die-hard school of pursuing protagonists under things. Deus ex Roy Battina. This is the most conveniently timed sprinkler system in the history of film. If they had these in the Towering Inferno, there would never have been a Towering Inferno. Okay, despite my recent 80s rant, this visual aesthetic is f***ing rad. Classic. They made a big deal out of creating oranges out of nothing earlier, and yet all I'm tasting is member berries.
This is too big, Athena, too big!
This is seriously where he's drawing the line? Dillinger had zero issues with computerized motorbike lasers that cut cop cars in half earlier, but Athena's current concoction concerns him? The movie has the f***ing audacity to murder Gillian goddamn Anderson when there is still half an hour left.
What did you do?
I am fulfilling my directive.
Sure, you've got a dead mom, but count yourself lucky you don't have a desk full of paper clips, too.
The Dillingers transported me inside their server by reversing the direction of a particle laser.
Previously on this movie, 30 minutes ago.
Are you alive?
I exist in this moment because you do.
People, he's gone full Lebowski. Someone pour a white Russian on the server. The rug has left the building, and this will not abide. Also, if this is some kind of echo of Flynn, then why has he aged like 2025 Jeff Bridges? Wouldn't he look like Flynn in 1989? Or at least Flynn in 2010 de-aged to look like Flynn in 1989?
The Dillingers run a wireless direct link protocol, so let's use what's left of the laser to ping the network and trace the path home.
Oh, huh?
I like Mozart. That said, if I'm being honest, I prefer Depeche Mode.
No one will be seated while Ares just can't get enough of talking to his personal Jesus.
I know one is considered the greatest composer in the history of Western civilization.
Okay, but what about Mozart? Pesky helicopter searchlights. If only she was an AI program with enhanced vision instead of a lowly human with actual eyeballs. Looks like we're dead set on doing as many OG Tron callbacks as possible, but I am just as confused as I ever was to what exactly he's doing here and why he knows to do it.
This is the end for you.
You sure would think that, wouldn't you? But again, you've only brought two people with you and very little weaponry. The movie will end on a lot of punchy, disky nonsense between two people whose powers I do not understand nor really care about in any meaningful way.
It's over. There's no coming back.
Based on box office receipts, I'm inclined to agree.
They did it.
They sure did. They typed a bunch of stuff on their magical keyboards and poof, the world has been saved. Or at least this city has been saved. I mean, except for the probably hundreds, if not thousands of people who died. But, other than that, all is well. Yay.
I followed my directive. What is yours?
I guess we'll see.
Well, she won't. She's about to enter her thumbs up in lava era of Terminatoring. Sark is Edward Dillinger's old program, so what the f*** has it been doing all this time? If it was just waiting all this time to kick in only if there's a grid-wide atom bomb, then that is some bullshit.
The company has made revolutionary advances, growing crops in climate-vulnerable regions.
Wait, why are they growing crops in climate-vulnerable regions instead of mass printing the crops themselves? Or bacon?
Postcard. Who sends a postcard?
Modern movie acts like physically writing a letter or sending a postcard is a lost art and spends its final minutes self-indulging that fact into existence, Clichéd. Forgive me for thinking it odd that the AI would choose to live the life of inconvenience that is being left-handed. Also, movie attempts and fails at creating a wild legacy. Corporation wastes money on an elaborate rooftop shrubbery configuration that no one could see from the ground. This mid-credits sequence proves that this movie's main belief is that audiences really love shiny discs and shit. Also, I would probably care much more about this moment if the movie gave me even one reason to care about the Julian Dillinger character. God, I miss David Warner.
$5 for the possessed toy. Take it away.
Who are you? I am your creator.
Where's my penis?
And Evie, remember, I'm still here.
Remember.
Transfer complete.
Underneath, it's a hyperalloy combat chassis. Microprocessor controlled. Fully armored. Very tough.
Hot! Too hot!
What you doing there?
You could trust me. You're thinking of the old red light Agamus. Blue light Agamus wants to help.
I'm in.
Damn, I'm good! Can you feel that? Can you feel it, Captain Compost?
The dude abides.